I remember when I first had Seth's book Linchpin in my hands. At that time, I was so ignorant and insecure about my role in the marketplace and life in general. Little did I knew that the ideas described in this book will open my eyes to new possibilities and change the way I see things forever. With Seth Godin help, today I'm going to show you how to become a linchpin and thrive in today's world. What does it take to become indispensable? Well, for sure it doesn't require to get bitten by a radioactive spider or get injected with a special serum that turns you into a superhuman. To answer this question, we must have an honest look at the education we receive from school and society, accept ourselves, and open our eyes to see where today's world is going. In Linchpin, Seth puts the focus on becoming indispensable in the marketplace, but I would argue that you could take the lessons to become indispensable in all aspects of your life. At least that's how I chose to use it. Ever seen this scenario? Someone in a regular job pours their heart, soul, and energy into their work, but after they leave, that business struggles to attract clients. If they decide to leave, do you think they need a CV to get hired? No, they don't need instructions to perform at their job and have built a reputation for being masters of their craft as well as serving others. These qualities make them rare in the eyes of any business owner. Of course, if they are not appreciated at their true value, they leave. Are they remarkable people, naturally gifted, talented? Not really. All they do is put passion in their work, aren't afraid of tackling the difficult tasks, and approach the problems they encounter with creativity and commitment. Notice that I said put passion in their work, not that they are passionate about their work. We'll talk about that in more detail in a future video. Linchpins face the same choice as we all do. Settle and be just good enough, or feel their fears and do what is necessary to grow and become better. From the moment we start school until we reach the age of 18, we are educated to fit in, obey authority, get good grades, so that one day we pass an exam and get a job. The mindset we are taught in school leads us to become a cog, a component of an already functioning factory, one that used to work before we existed and will continue to work long after we are gone. That is, of course, if AI doesn't take over in the meantime and we become batteries like in the movie Matrix. Most of the education we receive in school and from society strengthens the amygdala or the reptilian brain, which is meant to keep us safe and hates discomfort. Let me ask you something. Do you feel happy and fulfilled when you stay within your comfort zone and choose to forget about your dreams and goals? If you are anything like us, the answer is no. That rarely happens or never. If you said yes, you are probably lying about other things too. Luckily, that's just one part of our brain. The other one, the Daimon, is a generator of ideas, driver of our intuition, generosity, love, kindness, and connection. Sounds like a very nice piece of hardware that we have there, right? How come we don't use it as much? Well, from an evolutionary perspective, this is the newer part of our brain, therefore is weaker than the reptilian brain. Remember the school training we spoke about earlier? Because we are taught to fit in, obey the rules, follow the standards, obey authority, and so on, this part of our brain goes to sleep. What we don't use, we lose, or in this case, becomes weaker. To awake the wonderful abilities that Daimon has to offer, we need to use our awareness, take a conscious decision to silence our reptilian brain and do things anyway. In other words, when we feel fear and anxiety, we should do things anyway. Now, please don't take that advice and jump from an airplane. That's not what this is about. For indispensable people, genius, talent, creativity are all side effects of silencing the reptilian brain over and over and feeding their daemon, nothing else. If that confused you, I recommend you get Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. I promise you will never see people like Bill Gates the same. By now, you either feel excited, confused, frustrated, or think I'm a little bit crazy. I'm not, they had me tested. I am no smarter than you. I am maybe just 2 books away, Linchpin and Outliers. At times, I know it's suffocating to read this kind of books, and because if read with an open mind, it challenges a lot of our beliefs. I got the same feeling when I read Linchpin, but after years of doing personal development, I now know this is the indicator that I'm learning something. Going from playing safe and following instructions to actually taking matters into our own hands and develop our craft is not easy to do. When we live life on autopilot for long periods of time, our reptilian brain becomes stronger than our daemon. Truth be told, it will always be so, but to break this evolutionary pattern, learn to recognize resistance and use it to trigger better routines and habits that in time will strengthen your daemon. Whenever you feel resistance, that's your sign to go for it. Over time it will become easier and your anxiety will dramatically decrease. If that seemed like going against your nature, Seth is not finished. The next part of the How to Become a Linchpin guide tackles the subject of giving with no expectation, choices, and connection. Giving something without expecting anything in return. Take a second and think about it. How do you feel when you receive a gift from someone and they claim they want nothing in return? Weird, right? Subconsciously, we are driven to give back when receiving gifts or anything from people and want them to behave the same. In other words, we see giving as a transaction, and if the person claims they don't need anything in return, we become suspicious and believe there must be a hidden agenda behind the gesture. If you like psychology, I recommend you read Influence by Robert Cialdini. You will understand a lot about how reciprocation works and why this behavior is so strong in us. Linchpins, however, give without expecting anything in return, sometimes even for free. For them, it's second nature. This makes people appreciate their skills and come to them. As a result, they build great connections which will benefit them in the long term. If you want to grow and stand out, start giving like a true artist, Seth says, and don't expect anything in return. Give it time, and the universe, God, the force, or whatever you believe in will pay you back 10 times over. Join me and let's do a quick exercise of visualization. Imagine that I ask someone to give their opinion on you, and this is what they say. He is very creative and can manage situations with a high degree of difficulty, a great presence in the team and an inspiration to others, has deep domain knowledge, possesses unique abilities hard to find nowadays. How would that make you feel? This is where you can get if you choose to follow the Linchpin path. We've reached the end of the book. What do we do now? I'd say it's time to begin a new journey, one towards fulfilling our potential. But as with all things in life, the choice is ours to make. We can close the book, put it back on the shelf, forget about its lesson and get the same results we always had. Or decide to go for our transformation. Take a small action today, another one tomorrow, and so on, so that we at least get a chance of fulfilling our dreams. Leaders, mentors, speakers can only take us to the river of knowledge, but can make us drink from it. Start walking the Linchpin path today with small, certain steps, so you can enjoy something great tomorrow. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend, leave a like and subscribe to get notified whenever I post videos like this. Until next time, stay blessed and go fit.